Hopefully you are able to find answers to any questions you may have in my corresponding police reports. Mr. Gaither, where are your police reports?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Outstanding objection.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right. Is there
No further questions.
cross-examination for this witness?
Sweetest words Ms. Love has ever said.
All right. Come on up.
Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it. Mr. Weinstein's coming up. So we are officially out of delay. All right, y'all give it up for Doug Weinstein, Yak Gotti's attorney, or representation, I should say. Man, y'all sick of Ms. Love like that? Dang. I'm not surprised.
Good afternoon, Detective Gaither, or Sergeant Gaither.
Good afternoon.
My name is Doug Weinstein. I represent Diamante Kendrick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to ask you a few questions about your interview with Mr. Zachary. In that interview with Mr. Zachary, when he is asked where he got the information about the murder of Donovan Thomas, at one point Zachary says, "Yak told me," correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you asked him why, presumably why, why did Yak tell Zachary that information? You recall asking him why?
I do.
But he didn't respond to that. He did not give you a why as to why Yak would tell Mr. Zachary that, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. The video is the best evidence of that.
Sustained.
After he didn't tell you why.
Objection assumes facts not in evidence.
It's in the video.
Your Honor.
Overruled.
Shut up, Ms.
After he didn't tell you why, you didn't follow up at all, did you?
Follow up with what, sir?
You didn't ask him repeatedly why. You did not delve into that further. You let the conversation go a completely
Objection,
different
vague
direction,
and
correct?
Compound.
Sustained.
Come on, Doug.
After he failed to answer your question, you did not follow up, correct?
Follow
As to
up.
why.
I'm not
Vague.
understanding what.
Objection. Vague.
Follow up is a very simple
Overruled.
term. After he failed to answer your question as to why, you did not again ask why, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you also asked a little later in that same interview, what exactly did they say? What exactly did Yak say? Do you recall that?
At what portion of the interview?
In what portion?
You stated that
About
later
45 minutes into the interview,
on. Okay.
okay, you say, what exactly did they say? What exactly did Yak? You don't use the word Yak, but you're referring to Shannon and Yak. Do you remember asking what exactly did they say?
I'm not recalling which context or what part of the interview you're speaking of.
Okay. So you don't remember asking what did they say?
I don't know.
I'm just want to ask, you don't remember?
Objection, Your Honor.
She didn't answer the question.
Number one, that last question is harassing. It was asked and answered. And
It was
number
not
two,
answered.
If Mr. Weinstein has something to, she says she doesn't recall or know what he's talking about. So.
I can move on. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll withdraw the question. Mr. Zachary never told you in that interview exactly what Yak said, correct?
He did.
I'm sorry?
He did.
He did. What did he tell you that Yak said?
From the best of my recollection, he stated that Yak told him about the murder as well.
But you asked what exactly did he say? Right? That's what you asked him. What did Yak say? For example, correct?
I asked him, what did Yak say? Yes.
Right. And you asked also, what did Shannon say? Do you recall that?
I do.
And do you remember Shannon's, or allegedly, Shannon's answer, what Shannon told Zachary?
Your Honor, I think it was a mistake. I think the question was supposed to be, what Quindarius say?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll withdraw that. What did Quindarius Zachary say that Shannon told Zachary?
Look at Max
That
coaching
they
over.
caught Nut down bad, and he also stated that Yak told him the people that were involved with the murder, the names. That's in the interview as well, that he stated Yak said.
But you didn't get an exact quote like that. You got nothing like that, correct? You didn't get the word. Let me stop right there. You didn't get an exact quote like that, correct?
Objection vague?
Sustained.
You did not get a quote from Zachary about what Yak allegedly said the same way that you got a quote from Zachary about what Shannon allegedly said,
Objection
correct?
relevance and objection.
Overruled.
Yeah, it's
And
overall. That's a great question. Shut up,
Objection
love.
vague as to the.
Shut up.
Overruled. If you don't understand the question, Sergeant, just say that.
I understand his question. He gave me the names of the people that were involved. He did not elaborate more about exactly what Yak said.
Okay, but could you answer the question that I asked?
What's your question again, sir?
Can I have the court reporter read the question back? Because I doubt I could replicate it the same way.
Get him, Weinstein. Ooh.
Exactly about what
Yak.
allegedly said, the same way that you got a quote from Zachary about what Shannon allegedly said, correct?
Correct.
She's being difficult on purpose.
So you didn't really ask Zachary a lot of detail as to the specific information that Mr. Kendrick, Yak, allegedly said to Mr. Zachary, correct?
Specifically, he stated
Specifically.
the names that Yak told him that were
That
involved.
wasn't the question. That wasn't the question. That was not at all the question at all.
When you are asking Zachary about Diamante Kendrick, you didn't, for example, ask Zachary the reasons that Yak may have disclosed that information to Zachary?
Objection, that would have called for speculation that she would not have been able to, that would not be admissible anyway unless it came from.
You can ask the question, whether she asked
Sorry,
the question.
Roxanne.
An objection relevance as to whether she would have asked Mr. Zachary to speculate about what is in Mr. Kendrick's mind.
She
not
asked
what he- that's not
Mr.
what he
Zachary
asked.
lots of questions about reasons and motivations for people doing things.
Yeah, that's not even what he asked, Miss Love.
I believe
Shush.
Mr. Quindarius offered information about your client.
Okay, but can you answer my question?
What's your question again?
Would the court reporter please read the question back?
Roxanne says, court reporter here, I hate reading back. Y'all leave the court reporters out of it.
Asking Zachary lots of questions about reasons and motivations for people doing things. Or overruled.
You need the question before that.
There, yeah. No, it's my fault. I'm sorry. Thank you for your help. Could you read the question before that part?
There's going to be a lot of back and forth between the two of them before you get to the question.
When you're asking Zachary about Diamante Kendrick, you didn't, for example, ask Zachary the reasons that Yak may have disclosed that information to Zachary?
Did I ask him the reasons?
Yeah, did you ask him the reasons?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I mean, he's up here
So
trying
really,
to say
you
she didn't
didn't
do her
ask
job, so.
Mr. Zachary a lot of questions about the specific information that he allegedly got from Diamante Kendrick.
Asked and answered.
No, that's not on the
sure.
video.
Sorry?
No, that's not. On the video, no, I didn't.
I'm sorry.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Get her, Doug.
Let me ask you something else. There was a discussion on direct about the shooting at Club Crucial on January 6th, I believe. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And one of the things you testified to is that Diamante Kendrick, Yak, he'd gotten arrested up the street from Club Crucial. Do you remember that?
I didn't say up the street from Club Crucial. She asked me if I knew that he was arrested that night of January 6th, and I stated after.
Okay.
I found out after.
You found out after.
Yes, sir.
And you know that that arrest had nothing to do with that shooting at Club Crucial.
I don't know. I didn't charge him for that.
He wasn't. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Your
So
Honor, I object to assuming facts not in evidence.
Sustained.
there's been. Could I just respond? We've had officers in here
Your Honor,
testify.
Move on to the next question.
Okay. Also, earlier today, you testified when we're talking about how you corroborated information, that one of the ways you corroborated the information that Mr. Zachary gave you was because Zachary, Sledge, and Turner all were from Capitol Homes. Do you recall that?
How I corroborated information?
Yes.
I don't believe I answered. Corroboration came from them because they were from Capitol Homes.
That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance and
Overruled.
That wouldn't make any sense, would it?
To who?
To anyone, that you corroborate information because they are from Capitol Homes.
Your Honor, objection. Number one, it mischaracterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
Would them coming from Capitol Homes, them being Zachary, Sledge, and Turner, corroborate anything?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Overruled.
Would that corroborate anything, the fact that they are from Capitol Homes?
Are we talking about something specific involving this case?
This was your
or just-
testimony. I'm sorry. This was your testimony from this morning. I'm just trying to ask you a question. Would Zachary, Sledge, and Turner coming from Capitol Homes corroborate anything?
Objection. Mischaracterizes her testimony.
Sustained.
All right. I've got no further questions for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay,
Swing
come
and
on
a
up.
miss by Doug. That was not great,
That
but
cash is full.
we'll keep moving on. Who's up next? Dear God, please let it be Max. Oh, here we go.
Right here.
It's time. We got Max Sharp,
None of my stuff are in there.
aka Jason Statham. Let's go.
Certainly when we text him.
And
Not as said Doug is weak. No, I don't think so. He's just
Okay.
yeah. Doug wasn't hitting on that one.
All right. Go ahead.
Come on,
Thank
Max.
you, Your Honor. May
We about to get
please
up out
the
of here.
court. Former Sergeant Gaither,
Retired.
retired Sergeant Gaither. I think you know this, but my name is Max Shard. I represent Shannon Stillwell.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
I want to first talk about this file. May I approach the witness with the
You
file?
may.
Come on, Max.
Can I just refer to you as Sergeant Gaither? I know you're
Sure.
retired, but okay.
Sure.
All right, thank you. Sergeant Gaither, as I understand it, you were the lead investigator on the Dexter Montgomery shooting case, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now
The secondary investigator. I'm sorry.
that shooting was from April 12, 2015.
The secondary investigator, yes. It was originally assigned to someone, and then my unit took over the case.
You eventually took over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as part of your duties as the lead investigator, once you took over, you maintained a case file, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that case file was an original file that would have the work you did, the police reports generated, and all the information regarding the work that you did on the case, correct?
Your Honor, these questions were asked and answered several months ago, the first
They were.
time that Sergeant
Judge
Gaither
Whitaker was
And now
here.
we-
They were. Let's not go over it
Well,
again.
we now have the case, copy
No.
of the case
Well,
file.
no, we don't.
Okay, we have a copy. So,
Your Honor, I object to the testimony. The jury has heard what the witnesses said, and I object to Mr. Sharp attempting to put information before the jury she's not said. And
Okay, just ask her a question about
So,
it then, but
as
don't
a-
recover stuff that's already been established.
As I understand, that original case file was left in a cabinet in
objection,
APD.
that was asked and answered months
It's
ago.
overruled, he's just recalling her to whatever it was she said before. But move on and get
I
to
will.
whatever you want to ask now.
As I recall, you've testified that that original case file was left in the cabinet of APD when you left.
Yes.
Okay. And you have now identified that file that's next to you that Ms. Love brought to court today as a copy of that file, correct?
I don't think those were my exact words.
What are your exact words?
I stated there are portions of this file that are copies of my original file.
Okay, so let me break that down.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a copy of your original file, but then there's also additional materials that someone else added.
Right. That's what we're
Objection,
trying
Your
to
Honor,
figure out.
mischaracterizes what the witness said.
She
She's
can correct
asking
me
a
if I'm wrong.
question. Overruled, Judge Whitaker. Come on.
Overruled.
Thank you.
Is that correct? That it was your original file, that's a copy of your original file, and then someone else added some other documents?
I cannot tell you if that is my original file because I don't remember all of the contents of the original file. There are portions and documents of
BS.
things
man.
that were in my original file that are now in this folder right here.
Where's
and
the
there are
original
also
file?
portions that I don't know where they came from that are in this folder as well.
Okay. And when you make a copy of your original file and send it to the DA's office, you would want to include the pertinent parts of your investigation, correct?
Sure.
Because they're the ones that are going to be prosecuting the case, the DA's office.
At what stage of the case? Like I stated to this gentleman here,
At
different
any stage of the
stages
case.
of the
What?
case going through the court system, you will receive different pieces of evidence. And maybe starting in the beginning, like the
Answer
complaint
the
room, you
question.
may not have all pieces of evidence or documents that'll end up in your original file at the end. So therefore, different stages that the case goes to the DA's office, you may not have all of the information.
It would contain the information for the work that you had done up to that point.
In the original file?
Yes.
Or portions of the file. At different stages, once again, you will receive different pieces of information. When I'm done with the case, all the information that I have for a particular case will be in that original file.
Right. And then the
Right.
original file is copied and sent to the DA's office. Correct?
Sir, I don't know a different way to explain to you what
Do you
You just
withhold
I'm saying.
information
I
from the
don't know.
DA's office?
Your Honor, objection as to relevance and objection, she's asked and answered.
Sustained.
Okay. As the lead investigator of the Dexter Montgomery case shooting back in 2015, do you remember the names Cornelius Davis, Carrion Mooney, and Christian James?
Objection, Your Honor, these were covered months ago. The same
and
question was
that's why
asked
I'm-
and answered.
Recalling it for the jury and for the witness.
Go ahead.
Do you recall the names Cornelius Davis, Carrion Mooney, and Christian James?
Yes.
Okay, they were individuals that
No,
were,
Burbank brain was
your
short.
investigation led you to believe were
squirrel
in the
brain, he said.
car with Dexter Montgomery at the time he was shot, correct?
Your Honor, this, again, asked and answered, so objection.
Okay, I mean, I don't know what we're getting at here.
I'll get there soon.
Get there really soon.
Those are individuals that were in the car with Dexter Montgomery per your investigation?
They were victims in that case, yes, sir.
Okay. And they were also witnesses?
Sure.
All right. Your Honor, I would like to play some prior testimony from April 29, 2024.
Your Honor, I object.
Of this witness?
Yes.
Oh, we're bringing back in
I
testimony.
object to,
Ooh,
the jury has already heard the testimony.
bring it back.
What purpose? Y'all approach.
I'm not going to ask you anything else about the case file.
Amy is awesome.
Let's talk about August 5th, 2015. Okay, that was the date of the interview with Mr. Zachary, correct?
Okay.
Could you speak up a little bit?
Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Zachary was in jail, correct?
Yes, he was in custody.
All right, and he was in custody for a series of shooting residences from April 28, 2015.
Yes.
Oh, and you were the lead investigator in that case.
Later on, yes.
Oh, Cat, something happened.
You were
to
the one
Cat.
that took out the warrants for Mr. Zachary.
Yes, sir.
All right, and he was arrested
true.
on that case on July 28th of 2015, correct?
Oh, no.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
I'm not sure the exact date.
Hope she gets it back up.
The charges Mr. Zachary was facing, as you took out the warrants, 3 counts of ag assault.
If you can remind me what the case, the charges are, the actual warrants, I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Everything he was charged with.
Aggravated battery for shooting Denise Bell.
If you have something that can refresh my memory, I don't know of all of the exact charges.
Okay,
She's
well,
top of
wasting
my
time
head.
right
all right.
now.
Did you charge him with aggravated battery?
Your Honor, the question has been asked and answered.
No,
If
he didn't
Mr.
ask
Sharp
this
would
question.
provide something. She's asking for something to refresh her memory.
He
She
asked
says
a
she
very
doesn't know the exact
specific
charges, so
question.
I'm trying to work through it with her. Do you recall charging him with aggravated battery for shooting Denise Bell?
Yes, I'm speaking of when you say counts, I can't recall how many exact counts is what
I
I'm
understand,
saying.
and
Okay,
I'm not
well,
going to press
just-
you on that.
That's fine.
Okay. Criminal damage to property.
Okay.
Is that gang charges?
It sounds about right. I don't know off the top of my head everything that he was charged with.
You charge him with gang charges, gang act violations,
Yes.
and you charge him with possession of firearm during commission of a felony.
That sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah, hopefully Cat's okay.
And
I know she had.
He
she's been
also-
having issues.
had pending,
Let me see.
he was still on bond for it, but he had pending the case from May 5th of 2015 when an officer found a gun in Summer Good's car, correct?
Okay.
You discussed that in an interview about his bond conditions and all the rest.
I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
It was before, so I'm sure the case wasn't dissolved by the time I talked to him in August. So
Okay, so he has this case of shooting the houses, and then he has a separate case,
the gun possession, yes.
gun possession. Right. And at the time on August 5th, from July 28, 2015, when he was arrested, to August 5th, he didn't have a bond, right?
I don't recall.
Okay. All right. You talked about calls that were made in the beginning of that. You said something to the effect, this is not a quote. Your people are
heavy.
calling me, so, I'm here now. What do you have to say?
Okay.
Is that paraphrasing? Is that
Sure.
sound right? All right. And I think you testified that you gave your number to certain people related to him. Who did you give your number to?
His mother.
His mother. Okay. Is that your standard practice, to give your number to people that you arrest?
Yes,
Or the family, I'm sorry, the family members of people you arrest?
It's weird. You know?
a search warrant was executed at her home. So
Answer the question.
A lot of people have my phone number. It's a common practice of mine, yes.
Okay. Kenneth Copeland, did he have your number?
You're aware that he had my number?
Okay. Did his family members have your number?
I don't think I spoke with any of his family members.
What about Miss Quarterman? Did she have your number?
I believe so.
Okay. And that was his girlfriend at the time? Mother?
His child's mother, yes.
Demekion Garlington, did he have your number?
No.
Did his family members have your number?
Yes.
Okay. Going back to, and I'm specifically talking about Mr. Zachary now. When you made reference to people calling on his behalf or to get you to go out and talk to him, who specifically was it that was calling?
The best of my memory, it was his mother and his girlfriend at the time, Miss Good.
Okay. And these calls would have taken place in between July 28th, 2015 and August 5th, 2015. Is that fair to say? These calls would have happened after his arrest?
I would assume. I'm not 100% certain.
It's funny.
But it was definitely after the search warrant was executed at his home.
Do you know what date the search warrant was?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
How many times did his mother call you?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance and
Sustained.
How many times did Summer Good call you?
relevance. Objection.
Let me ask you, are there any reports regarding these phone conversations you had with Mr. Zachary's mother or girlfriend that you generated?
No.
Okay. Were these phone calls you had with Mr. Zachary's mother and girlfriend, were they recorded?
I don't believe so.
Yep. She was talking to Auntie over there. There's a reason he asked that question. Gaither had a relationship with...
On direct, you talked about
allegedly.
your practice of not revealing your cards first. Remember that?
I don't think I used the word cards, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Well, I'm not directly quoting you.
Okay.
But the idea that you hold back your information because you don't want the person that you're interrogating to know what you know and then structure a story around what they know you know.
Okay.
Does that sound about right?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. People lie in the interrogation room, don't they?
Objection, Your Honor. One, relevance as to what people do, and two, speaking on the veracity of a witness is exactly the thing that the court has instructed the witness not to do.
That's not as to a particular witness, overruled.
And Your Honor, then objection, relevance as to what other people do.
Sustained.
Okay. You hold back information because you're concerned about people crafting their lies around what they would know you know.
Objection, Your Honor.
Rephrase.
Why do you hold back information from people in the interrogation room?
An
To try and trick
objection
them.
that was asked and answered.
Sustained.
We talked
Your
about
Honor,
this
it wasn't
yesterday
asked and
too.
answered by me, and I'm trying to lay the foundation to go somewhere with this.
Okay, well, you just asked a question very similar to that, so.
Well, it was my recollection was objected to. That's why I'm asking open-ended now. Why do you withhold? I asked if she withholds information. Now I'm asking, why do you withhold information from people in the interrogation room?
Your Honor,
You just asked her about the testimony she gave on direct as to why she did that.
Good afternoon,
And she
everyone.
answered. Yep, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
And shout out to everybody coming over from Kat's channel. Man, I hope she gets it fixed. I know she said there was a tree that was down, messing up her internet. Man, y'all go show Kat Not Williams some love. Man, hopefully she'll be back up. Yeah, y'all are saying Kat crashed. Kat's just having internet problems. She's working on it. Dang. Yeah, well, if somebody could drop the link to her channel once she gets back up there, y'all definitely got to go check her out and hit the subscribe button. She's doing an amazing job. Absolutely amazing job. But hopefully she'll be back up soon. Dang. Stink. All right, I know Amy will drop it. Amy will drop the link.
In
to
your
her channel.
experience, do people in the interrogation room
Yeah, thank y'all for coming over here while Kat's getting their stuff fixed.
try to protect themselves?
Objection,
you,
relevance
Amy.
as to what people in the interrogation room do.
Are we speaking about a particular case? I mean, everybody's different.
I'm talking about in your experience.
In my experience, everyone is different. They have different reasons and motivations for what they say.
In your experience in the interrogation room, do people attempt to shift blame onto others?
Everyone has different motives and tactics that they use to try to outsmart us. Unless you're talking about someone specific, I don't want to just generalize all of my experience and all of my interrogations.
Okay, well, all right,
So
let's
she's
talk about a
trying-
specific example
trying
that
to
came
get
up
the
on
upper
direct.
Okay.
Ms. Love asked you about Quindarius Zachary informing you that Woody, Kenneth Copeland, Woody, and Antonio Sledge Moontunk shot shell kill on Martin Luther King.
Shut at.
Shot at shell kill on Martin Luther King.
I don't know. Objection is to,
She asked.
you know what? I withdraw it. I'll
Jason
let him
says she
ask
got
the
a new
question.
rider. She'll be back shortly. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Do you remember?
Shot at Kelvin Watts? Yes.
Yes. Do you remember being asked about that?
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked if Woody admitted to that when you interviewed him, right?
Okay.
And you chuckled.
I don't remember chuckling. Just now or then?
No, then.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I want to say, of course not, is what I stated.
Of course not.
Of course not.
Why did you say of course not?
Because we all know that he didn't. We watched several interviews with him, and he did not state anything about that.
Okay. That would have been against his legal interests, right?
Objection, Your Honor. As to
Sustained.
She just stayed.
In fact, Mr. Copeland said he denied doing anything out on the streets. He said that people were always throwing his name into
Objection,
things
Your
that
Honor.
other people did, correct?
relevance and the best evidence was what they've already seen.
Okay.
I don't know why she's
Let me
not on
ask you
camera
this.
today either. That's super annoying, but we know what Darth Vader looks like, so y'all are good.
You, as an investigator, wanted to talk to Mr. Zachary when you had him in the interrogation room about things he was accused of first. That was your first line of questioning, correct?
The case that I had for him, yes.
Right, the shooting up the houses from April 28th.
Correct.
All right. Your Honor, permission to publish DS41A,
Yeah, those are all part of the. Yeah.
right, and it's 21851 to 22201.
Oh, we're bringing in the video. This is good. Hold her feet to the fire.
Your Honor, with respect to
01. Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Okay,
Your Honor.
so-
Your Honor. Your Honor. Your Honor.
I
Your
would
Honor. Your Honor.
checked under 403 since the jury just heard this entire interview and asked that if there's a question, that the question be posed. But this portion of the entire interview has been played for the jury.
That's true. It was very recently played. Why don't you ask questions, and then if she needs her recollection refreshed about anything, you can do that.
Why don't you shut the f up?
You focused Quindarius
Yes,
Zachary on the April 28th, 2015 incident, right?
In the beginning of the interview? Yes.
Lord.
Okay. And his first thing he said to you was, I wasn't there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he claimed to have information about the shooting, though, correct?
Your Honor, this has been asked, answered, and shown.
Sustained.
About what, sir? Which
The April
portion?
28th, 2015 shooting, Sergeant Gaither.
I don't believe that was exactly what he said.
Your Honor, may I play the video?
You may.
Thank you.
I want to know why. Let me see if I can find it. And shout out to the person that shared this on X. Y'all want to know why Detective Gaither does not like Max? Check this out. And this was by Law and Crime. Here we go.
Hopefully you are able to find answers to any questions you may have in my corresponding police reports. Mr. Gaither, where are your police reports?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Outstanding objection.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
And that was back when Judge Glanville was still up in here. She don't like Max.
Can we publish 41A, Mr. Kokomo? And that is 21851 to 22201.
Talk about this, what you've been charged with. What do you have to say about the case? I went there that night. You wasn't where? What did you hear about it? Someone came to the house waking me up to my DJ had jumped. Like so. And then, you was at the house in Cleveland? Yeah. Apartment, address you said? 405. And then, that when she told me that she had got shot at too. That same night? Yeah, she said that they had gotten a whole bunch of shoes. And then, like, Ill Gang had pulled up at my cousin's house. Cause my cousin go with this boy named Tate. Threat, y'all know him? Yeah, Javante, yeah, I don't know his name, but she was going in the house. And she said they were started shooting at the house. Like, they were shooting from the apartment, like she said. Where is this house located at? Like you talking about? Landrum apartment. Landrum in Zone 4? On Council. North Council? Yeah. So who stayed over there again? My cousin Liz, Frank, and Tate. That's what Javante said? Yeah. She your blood cousin? Yeah. I mean, you know how people say? No, that's my real cousin. So this gang got to shooting at them at Landrum? Yeah.
Shout out to the
Is
Cat
this
Not
before or
Williams
after he
gang.
got shot at? Got jumped on? She said it did happen last. It was after all the shooting. So first D get jumped on, then the shootings happened. I'm telling you, like, from how I heard, like, what I heard first. Okay. Shoot, most of them call me or something in the morning, let me know that. But she like, most of them cussing D out, because D was telling them that he was shooting, they had shoot them in the face and jump. Most of them told D that he had to find around home. And then that was she like, then that was D told, I would sleep, D told me that morning, like, they had shot up the house. D told you that, say that you kind of skimmed over that part. When you say D, you talking about Demekian, right? That your real name? You talking about Lil D from 30D, yeah. Like Mechanicsville? Demekian. Demekian told me that they had shot at the houses. That who had shot at the houses? Him, Tay, and who it was? Shannon. He just told me nothing. He said him, Tay, Shannon, and some other boy named Traydon be with Tay. Named Traydon? Yeah. He told you personally? Yeah. How did he tell you over the phone? Nah. In your face? Yeah, he's over my house. I was sitting there and he told me that they had shot the house, he said, and then that when they shot up Larry, where Tay stayed. So if gang came back, and shot up Tay house? Yeah, someone right there.
That's good.
Like, I guess.
So,
here we go.
After seeing that video, you would agree that Mr. Zachary first said he wasn't there.
Yes.
But he said he had information about what happened, right?
Yes.
And he said he got that information because Demekian came over his house and confessed it all the next day.
Your Honor,
He didn't use the
I
word
object
confess.
to the best evidence, and so
Okay, overruled.
What?
Did you finish your
And
question?
his source, he
She's doing
claimed
this on
his source of
purpose.
information was not from being there, but from Demekian telling him the next day.
Correct. And also that portion, that first story that he
thank
just
you,
told
Jada's
about
dad.
Demekian telling him and all of this was a lie, that he was actually there.
Well, I understand that, but that's what he told you. I'm not asking if it's true. That's what he told you.
Yes, that's what he told me.
Okay.
Because you were taking.
And you
word
had,
from
I
it
mean,
for it
you
then.
had records, phone records. So I'm not asking you to comment on anyone's veracity, but you weren't believing what he was saying. He wasn't fooling you when he told you that.
Your Honor, this is asked and answered, so objection.
Sustained.
Okay. Later on, you called him out. When I say later on, I'm talking about just after that clip. You called him out on what he was saying, correct? You
Your Honor,
challenged him.
Objection under 403, they've just heard, and she's been asked.
Okay.
Oh, so she knows what 403
He's
is.
trying to do his examination, so I'm going to overrule that one.
Thank you.
You challenged him, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he pled with you. He said, I'm being honest.
Is that a question?
Let's hear it.
Well, that wasn't on that clip. That wasn't on that clip. He told you in the interview room he was being honest, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. They saw it on the other clip. So best evidence.
Sustained.
Okay. He promised you he wasn't there, correct?
Your Honor. I object. Best evidence. The jury has seen it.
They
Sustained.
keep,
Asked and answered.
if it's best evidence, I will gladly play the clip. Is that?
Your Honor, they've already seen it. This has been asked and answered.
Sustained.
All right.
Man, the
Okay.
defense is getting beat up today. They're having a tough time with this one.
Still talking about April 28th.
Okay.
April 28th, through your investigation, you came to realize that there was a shooting at Landrum, correct?
No. No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I would object. Asked, answered, and best evidence.
Overruled.
You're the lead investigator in the case. There was a shooting at Landrum, correct?
That's what Mr. Zachary stated. I don't believe I was able to find any evidence that occurred.
Okay.
Just best of my recollection, I don't
They're
believe.
barely getting any questions in.
That's fair. Mr. Zachary claimed that his cousin Alexis Bryant and his girlfriend Summer Good were in that
Lord, give
residence
that mic a rest.
at Landrum when that shooting occurred. What he was claiming was a shooting occurred, correct?
Okay. Yes.
All right. And the story was that Summer Good, his girlfriend, called him for help. Correct?
Yes.
All right. And as lead investigator on this case, you're aware that at Adele and Drew Drive, the subsequent shootings for which Mr. Zachary was charged, there were shell casings found on those scenes, correct?
Okay.
Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Zachary, you're aware that he was arrested with a certain gun on May 7, 2015.
A certain gun?
Yes.
Yes, he was arrested with a firearm.
Okay. And that was 9 days after the April 28th shooting, correct?
Yes.
All right. And the ballistics from the shell casings at the scenes that you were investigating matched the ballistics
Your Honor,
of the gun
I'm going to
that
object
Mr.
based on hearsay unless there's a stipulation. So I'm going to
Sustained.
Dang, Miss Love's she's getting them today.
Okay. I will move on.
Come on, Max.
Mr. Zachary, in his statements to you stated that he didn't shoot, right? Once he admitted he was there, he claimed he didn't shoot at anyone or any houses.
Correct.
He stated that Mr. Sledge never shot.
That's what he stated, yes.
Okay. And he named 3 shooters as my client, Shannon Stillwell, Shannon Jackson, Trevante Turner, and Ali Lee Caldwell. Or he said Lee.
Correct.
Okay. And you have said in court that you looked at some social media post with
Police officers love being on
Trevante
social media.
and Lee in it, correct?
And trade on, yes.
And Traydon. Okay. Shannon was not in this social media post.
No.
Okay. When did you look at this social media post?
The exact date I'm unsure of, but it was during the early portion of this Operation Planners, Donovan Thomas
Guilty.
murder investigation with the retaliatory shootings.
So that been in 2015 you looked at this social media post?
Yes, the early part of 2015.
Okay. Did you print out that social media post?
Printed? No.
Do you have that social media post?
I did. It was on a terabyte jump drive that I had that was damaged when the city of Atlanta had some type of cyber attack. But I did have the actual photograph of it.
So we don't have that social media post in court here today?
I don't know if Miss Love them have it. I don't have it.
Okay. Regardless of this post that you found involving what that had Trevante Turner and Ali Lee Caldwell in it, you never charged Trevante Turner or Ali Caldwell with anything regarding April 28, 2015, correct?
Your Honor, I object based on asked and answered and 403, asked and answered in depth.
Overruled.
No, there was no corroborating evidence to say that they were involved
Okay.
outside of what Mr. Zachary stated.
And in the 9.5 years that have passed since April 28, 2015, you never charged Shannon Stillwell with any of these incidents from April 28, 2015, did you?
I've been retired since 2020.
Okay, so from April 28, 2015 to your retirement date in 2020, you never charged Shannon Stillwell with any of the events from April 28, 2015?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah, Vera can give her opinion.
You talked to Mr. Zachary
I
about
haven't
the
seen
Lil
it.
Wayne bus shooting from 2015, correct?
Briefly.
Okay, briefly. Did Quindarius Zachary ever claim to be on 285 or the highway when any buses were shot at or shot?
Here's a lot.
I don't believe so.
Okay, did he ever claim to be a witness to the actual shooting?
No.
Okay. He did tell you that someone was in a Camaro with Jimmy Winfrey, but he could not identify that person, correct?
Objection, Your Honor, best evidence.
I mean, they can't have it both ways, Judge. They can't stop me from playing the video and then complain when I don't play the video.
Your Honor, they just saw the video, so objection is to a waste if we want to continue and expedite.
Talking about a
She didn't
waste
answer
of
the
what?
question.
What's
I
the
know
question
she's not
again? I'm
talking about
sorry.
wasting time.
He claimed that someone was in the Camaro, the white Camaro with
That's what
Jimmy
I'm saying,
Winfrey,
Hemi.
correct?
Okay, yes.
But he couldn't identify that person.
I don't believe he stated a name.
Okay. And he claimed that at Club Compound, he saw
Welcome to
Shannon
all Cat Not
getting
Williams gang.
into
Hopefully she'll be back.
Dolly is Jeffrey's sister, correct?
Okay, yes.
Dolly's Ford Explorer.
Good Lord. Cat is back. I don't see
Yeah.
it on their channel yet.
I don't recall.
You know Dolly's Ford Explorer to be bluish green, correct?
I'm aware of the interview, but I don't recall off the top of my head what vehicle he stated he got into.
Okay.
It wasn't the vehicle with him, with Mr. Zachary.
You know Dolly's Ford Explorer to be bluish green, correct?
Correct, so I've heard.
Okay.
Oh, she's not back yet.
Have you spoken to the bus driver who was out there that night on 285 driving Lil Wayne?
I have no reason to speak to the bus driver.
Are you aware?
Your Honor, I'm going to object if Mr. Shart is going to ask about another witness's testimony or anything like that.
I don't know what he's going to ask about.
Are you aware that the descriptions for the cars?
Objection, Your Honor. That would call for speculation.
What?
She says she was not out there. And hearsay.
Can he ask a question?
Overruled.
God dang.
Are you aware that the descriptions of the cars involved given by the bus driver were a white Corvette?
Hang on, sustained with regard to hearsay at that point, yes.
Do you have
So
any
that was
idea
a-
what the descriptions given by the bus driver were?
Objection, Your Honor. That's for the same reason, and it's irrelevant whether she knows what a description was. And Mr. Shart has no good faith basis for asking. She has testified that that was not her primary investigation. She didn't speak with them.
Sustained.
Shout out to the Cat Not Williams gang. Hopefully Cat gets back in here. We need her. Thank you, FFS.
Did Quindarius Zachary ever put Shannon in a
She's
white
not back yet.
truck the night of the Lil Wayne shooting?
When I interviewed him, no.
No? Okay. Do you know of Shannon Stillwell ever being charged with the Lil Wayne bus shooting?
Objection, relevance and hearsay and relevance.
Sustained as to relevance.
Okay. Going to move to the discussion you had with Mr. Zachary about
I see y'all. All right.
confessions allegedly given to him on the night of January 10th, 2015, okay?
That's unfortunate because I got to get out of here soon.
When you're investigating
Hoping to send y'all over there.
a crime or talking to a witness, you would agree that it's important to nail down details, correct?
I got you.
Okay.
I mean, you can feel free to disagree. It's either yes or no. I don't know what okay means.
Do I feel as though it's important to nail down
Details.
details? Yes.
Thank you. And at the time of this interview with with Quindarius Zachary, I know you weren't the lead investigator of the Donovan Thomas case, correct?
Correct.
That was Detective Thorpe, but you had a working knowledge of that case.
Objection, vague as to working knowledge.
Overruled.
Some parts of the investigation, yes.
You had sat down with Kenneth Copeland multiple times, right?
Correct.
And all that was prior to your meeting with Mr. Zachary, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And regarding these alleged confessions, you would certainly
Shout
want
out to
to
Kim. Yeah, I'll be
obtain
getting
the
out of here, man.
contextual details surrounding the confessions, correct?
Objection vague.
Overruled.
The confession as far as Mr. Thomas's death?
Yes.
And
You'd want to know the contextual details surrounding
objections,
the
Your Honor,
confession.
regarding alleged confession. It mischaracterizes what.
Sustained.
Yep, Gunna did say YSL was gang, but is that enough?
As an investigator,
Probably
you would
not.
want to nail down the contextual details.
Objection, contextual details as to what? Vague.
Overruled. If she doesn't understand, she can express that.
I don't understand.
You would want to know who supposedly confessed.
Objection, Your Honor. There's, again, the court sustained the objection as to alleged confessions. So continuing on that.
Sustained.
Your Honor,
Sustained.
my client's presumed innocent,
Understood.
And Your Honor,
and I'm not accepting that there was any confession. So I'm going to say presumed.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
All
alleged
right,
confession.
stop.
Uh-oh. Getting ugly.
I'm going to excuse y'all.